What is up? It's the next day from that last clip. And I just jacked the car up some more. I'm getting ready to pull out the trans. Chris is here. And you know, we just gotta get some clearance things out of the way. Take the rest of the trans bolts out. And then me and Chris are about to fucking lift this heavy ass transmission. Chris under the car, he's about to take the transmission bolt out. We're about to drain the tranny because I'm gonna obviously replace fluid and then we're dropping the trans, so might as well drain it. That's draining. We're gonna let it drain for a minute. We're gonna work up top, get a lot of the wires tucked away. I don't want anything to snag or get caught when we're dropping it out, so we're just gonna bungee everything far away as we can, move the drive axle out of the way, and then we'll skip to the tranny bolts. Chris just drained the transmission. I broke all the bolts on the bottom of the transmission loose. Took a couple of them out, but we're about to get the jacks on there before we take the rest out, because the only thing that's holding it in is 3 bolts on the bottom and then the engine mount on the side right here, or the trans mount to the frame. So we're getting ready to take it out. So I'm sitting here and editing the second part of the clutch install, and it made me realize, so I want to film this clip, I just pulled like 3 clips of us filming underneath the car when we were taking the trans out, me and Chris, and literally these are sped up by 20% and they're still like long ass clips. Literally there was like 30 minutes of clips of just trying to get the transmission out, and like I just want to reiterate that that's literally what took the longest, was to get the transmission out. It was just hung up. There's not that much room because there's about an inch or 2 on the side over here from the edge of the diff to the frame, so you have like no room to pull the spline out. Obviously I'm going to cut all this down and make it into a time lapse because it literally just is so much footage, but it's crazy. I just want to show you guys. one slight issue. I'm trying to get the flywheel off. There's nowhere in town where I could get a flywheel like holder to hold the teeth steady so I could break it with the breaker bar. Literally went to like 5 different stores. So I decided to put 120 psi on the impact, and I got 7 out of the 8. The last one, no matter how much psi I put onto it, it's like literally not going. So the only way to break it's by hand, but I need to figure out a way to keep the rest of the flywheel to keep moving. So, so I got the new parts laid out next to the old ones. So as you can see, obviously the old flywheel, the one we just took off, it's a dual mass flywheel. As you can see, dual mass right there. This is the old clutch. I checked the parts number on this clutch. It's a Sacha's clutch, so most likely it's a stock clutch, which is crazy because I put probably 50,000+ miles on it. So lasted pretty well, but you can see it took a beating at the end when it started slipping. All these heat sores around the pressure plate as well. So stock pressure plate too, and literally look at all the clutch dust that just came off that. Moving over to the new flywheel. So we're gonna clean this up before we put it on with some brake cleaner and everything. I mean, you're never gonna see it. It looks prettier though. But single mass flywheel, lightweight flywheel from BFI Industries. Moving over to their clutch, as you can see, pretty gold. Never see it as well. Literally look at my hands when that clutch does, just touching the clutch. The retention springs are way thicker, so this is stage 3 clutch. It's going to engage way harder, and the pedal is going to be way harder. Look at these compared. 3 versus 6, and these are like 3 times the size. But the puck itself, material looks pretty aggressive. It's thicker in stature as well. And then the BFI Stage 3 pressure plate as well. Comes with alignment tool, Loctite for all the bolts. These are the flywheel bolts and the pressure plate bolts. Alright, so the new flywheel is in. New bolts with the thread locker, blue thread locker I used. All 8 bolts are torqued down to 55 foot-pounds of torque. I just cleaned off the surface of the flywheel itself with brake cleaner thoroughly. I just got off work. I worked at 4 in the morning till 12. And you guys are gonna be a little bit disappointed. So last night I was filming. I had the tranny out and everything. I was putting, you know, the new slave throwout bearing in, pressure plate, clutch disc, lightweight single mass flywheel, and I ran out of space on my SD card. And it was late, so I couldn't go to the store real quick and get another one. But good news, I just went to the store, bought 2 new SD cards, so I'm not gonna run out anymore. But, however, I didn't get that footage. So, unfortunately, I'm just gonna pick it up. I already put the tranny back in and most of the accessory parts, but we're gonna catch up. So, like I said, I was working all morning. I just picked up coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but you know, sometimes it works, and especially when you don't drink coffee every day, it actually hits way harder. But as you can see, the tranny's in a lot smoother than taking it out. Literally, I muscled it up, got under it, put it on my chest, muscled it up, and got it on the spline first try. Don't mind the starter just sitting right there. But I started to plug a lot of the sensors back in, and you know, started to put the starter back in, engine mount. The whole tranny's mounted up, and then I'm gonna get underneath and put the drive axles in and all the rest of the accessory parts, and we'll probably just film a time lapse because once again, it's just me filming. I got some lame ass friends that never come through. Just kidding. Part I got everything mounted up. As you can see, all the shifter linkage is mounted up. Obviously I still need to bleed the clutch. The cold side of the turbo inlet pipe is mounted up. The battery box with the battery. most of the things I have left are on the bottom, like the axles. I gotta bolt back up all the suspension right here. But right now I'm gonna fill the tranny before I forget. So I got the tube running from the top to the bottom right there. It's the fill plug. So I'm gonna put the camera underneath, and basically it takes 2.3 liters, so I bought enough fluid, but the general consensus is you just fill it until it starts to come out, and then it's full at that point. Alright, so it's been 2 hours since I last filmed. I'm sorry. I know in the last clip I just said I was going to film the time lapse of it all, but listen, the flanges were giving me trouble. Ty came over after school today, helped me out. We got that situated, about to drop it off the jacks on this side, and the car's going to be on the ground for the first time in like 3 or 4 days. Realistically, I did the project mainly solo. The only one that helped me was Tyler for, what, the last hour of this project. It took me about, I'd probably say 12 to 14 hours solo, though. So,
and you had complications you needed some help with. You know, just a different set of eyes helping you get through the whole situation.
So we're about to roll it out. The battery died, so it won't start. But we bled the clutch and everything, so about to roll it out, make sure everything works, and then I'll run the map for stage 2. We're currently in the motherfucking car. It started. It changes gears because I backed up to get to this point. But this clutch is so fucking heavy and engages like that, like a nut hair, bro. You let go of a nut hair, you know how small a nut hair is, and it's like so but I was expecting that, so from other people that reviewed it, other YouTubers as well, like what's this, MK7 on YouTube, look him up, good guy. He has the same clutch kit, and about after 500 miles is the break-in process, so stop and go, keep it under 4K, and then the clutch pedal should loosen up. But I feel like a bitch driving this, because you have to drive it like a man, bro, and I'm a little boy. So here we go, first go. Alright, so 65,000 miles flat right now, so put 500 miles on it. We go for the first test drive. Obviously we're not going to rip it because like I just said, we're going to break it in, but we need to go get gas because I have 5 miles till I'm empty, because it's been on jack stands for 4 days, so fuck it, why spend $30 on gas? Oh my god. It's like really
You gotta do a fucking Bernie trying to leave the neighborhood.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, I want to rip it so fucking bad. I just want to,
because you know it's gonna catch.
Yeah. So when I get the when I get back from the gas station, I know Tyler's got to go home because he's a little boy and he has a bedtime, and it's like I was gonna say it's 8 o'clock, but my clock's wrong. I think it's 10 o'clock. But he's got work early, you know. So I'm gonna run the stage 2 plus on it. I'll map that as soon as I get home, and then basically over the next week or so, I'm going to be monitoring and running logs to make sure everything's cool on it. And I also want to pay attention to the ambient air temp, because I just ordered an intercooler and I kind of took a chance and I want to try it out for video purposes as well. So I got a twin intercooler, a little bit on the cheaper end, so I want to measure the ambient air temps on that and see if it actually made a big difference. So, but it won't be detrimental because I'm still retaining the stock intercooler, so we should be cool. Alright, second stop with the new clutch. Let's not stall it, baby. Bro, I'm so tempted to just tune this thing and fucking get on it, because I know the clutch will handle it, but then I'm ruining the longevity of it, you know? I was tempted. Bro, this thing is hard as fuck to drive. It engages like that, bro. I'm chirping the tires, not even trying to. It's like this. Dude, my excitement, bro, this is, first of all, anybody that works on cars knows a clutch is like a daunting task. And the fact that like all the homies were busy this week and I just ran it solo. I mean, Tyler helped me out a lot tonight, helped me get past like a little problem I was having with the flanges for the drive axles, so I appreciate it, bro. But literally solo, I lifted this fucking transmission. It's probably, I'm exaggerating, but it's probably 200 pounds. No, I'm probably not exaggerating, because I bench pressed that shit, and it was pretty fucking heavy. But I got lucky, winning first try. So it took me, I've had work in school all week. This was like my only real day to work on it for like a large amount of hours. But I put in like 3 hours the first night and disassembled everything, like all the accessories and everything. Got down to basically the point where all I had to do was take the rest of the tranny bolts out, drop the tranny. So the second day I dropped the tranny, which took me like probably 2.5 hours to drop it. And then I stopped working on it. Third day is when I installed the clutch, put the tranny back in, which like I said, really took like no time at all, like probably 2 or 3 hours again, from taking my time to disassemble the old clutch, cleaning the new parts, putting them in, you know, pressure washing the housing and everything like that. And then the fourth day, which is today, currently, the tranny was already back in, so bolting everything back up from, you know, the drive axles to everything up top, such as the starter, all the tranny bolts, etc, etc, etc. So everything that came out went back in today, and this was our first drive. So I just pulled up to the gas station. I'm gonna grab gas real quick, fill it up, and then we're gonna head back to the house and run the map. All right, so we just got gas at the gas station. We're leaving, letting Tyler drive. So don't mind my black eye. I didn't get in a fight. I've been working on a car all day, and shit keeps getting my eyes.
Oh my God.
But what are your first thoughts?
Dude, this shit's stiff as fuck. My car is a feather, and this is literally like 100 pounds.
Yeah, so I'm gonna reiterate it again. It's not supposed to be like that. Obviously, it's gonna engage way harder, and the retention springs are gonna make the clutch pedal be stiffer, way stiffer compared to a stock clutch. However, though, after the braking process, it's supposed to lastly, you know, smooth itself out. So we'll see. It's just disappointing, dude, because I'm about to load this tune, and this tune's gonna help me. Obviously, it's gonna run better, because I was having like a little bit of deficiencies for like a couple weeks on like running lean to rich, and it was just like fluctuating the air fuel ratios and everything, because I've been logging them. But it was just due to like the downpipe not being mapped in correctly. So with this new tune I got, it'll be mapped in correctly, and I don't remember what the numbers are for the Stage 2, so I'll have to look them up, and we'll update you on what it's sitting at. But it's only been Stage 2 for probably a week or so. Probably for like the break-in process it'll be Stage 2, and then we'll let her rip Stage 3. But I gotta hit up Gabe for some new tires, so. Alright, it's verifying Stage 2 plus 91 octane. Unfortunately, we can't run 93 out here in Vegas very easily. There's not many gas stations with 93. There's probably 3 that I know off the top of my head. So, not going through that hassle for extra HP. Stage 2 map is on. I need to check the numbers on it again. I forget, but I think it's somewhere around 370 wheel torque, 350 wheel horsepower. Tyler's kind of peer pressuring me to do a slight pull, so I'm not gonna really get on it. Yeah, yeah.
No, it's
off camera. Yeah,